Hi, this is Roman.
And Angel.
And Nora, the editor.
And you're listening to Cinema Strolls.
The film podcast about forming an opinion and regretting it later.
Or not.
Or not.
So do you want to start or should I start?
You start.
I feel like I've been starting too often, but okay.
I like it when you start.
Good.
Makes my job easier.
Yes. Well, tonight's episode is a bit different. We'll be doing compare and contrast between the newest releases by the Safdie brothers, who have decided to no longer work together and have done films separately. Much like the Coen brothers and the Wachowski sisters, these siblings no longer work together, which gives us an interesting opportunity to talk about their obsessions and the ways in which they go about tackling their obsessions in different ways. Obviously, everyone knows who the Safdie brothers are.
Everyone, absolutely.
I mean,
Nobody who would be listening to this podcast who would know.
Well, when was the last time filmmakers showed up that
Kind of out of the blue?
where immediately people started using their name to refer to a certain feeling? You know, like you say Safdie-esque.
You say Safdies.
No,
Does
that's-
anybody else use
Yes,
Safdies?
of course. What do you mean I say Safdie-esque? Everyone says Safdie-esque when they're describing a Safdie brothers type of film. Obviously, I'm talking about cinephiles. I'm not talking about my mom here, but I don't think my mom would say Lynchian either. I'm saying amongst people who watch films, Safdie-esque has come to mean something. It's usually on a self-sabotaging character making one bad decision after another in a very tense situation.
Yeah, and certainly watching the two films we saw today, one of them was following in this tradition and the other one was
And also
definitely
they
not
make
doing
films about people who almost win, people who have a winner mentality but end up losing. This is something that happens, people who are self-delusional and seem to be convinced that their way of going about things is the right way. These are things that happen in pretty much most of their films, well, not all of them, and of course I'm generalizing a little bit. This isn't the first time that they've worked separately, actually.
Really?
They actually started working at the beginning of their careers separately. Benny was doing shorts when Josh did his first feature film, and both Josh's first film, The Pleasure of Being Robbed, and Benny's one of his early shorts, which the name escapes me right now, but they were both separately selected to play at Cannes.
Damn.
And the people from Cannes contacted them and were like, "Wait, are you brothers?" And it's only after that happened, I think, that they actually started working together as co-directors. I've seen most of their films. I can say with confidence that I love the Safdie brothers. I love their work. I think it's crazy how fast time flies, because I think in my mind Uncut Gems feels like it came out yesterday, but it's actually pre-pandemic. It's been quite some time since that film came out. Since then, Benny has suddenly become an actor.
A very good actor as
A
well.
very interesting actor, a very interesting presence for someone who, as far as I know, has never studied acting. He's actually really good. But yeah, he's very versatile as an actor. He has a very specific face,
Very specific face.
but also very versatile, because depending on how he presents himself, he can kind of come across as handsome in some films, then he can come across as really goofy in some other films. He was, I guess, most famously in Oppenheimer, playing Edward Teller.
He's also in Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, playing a senator or a wannabe senator.
He
He's
was
in a
very
bunch
good
of
at
things.
it.
He's in a bunch of things, and he tends to be good. He was one of the villains in the Happy Gilmore 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, he's a standard head, so
Yeah.
doesn't actually surprise me. But I don't think you'd be surprised to hear that I haven't seen Happy Gilmore 2.
I skimmed it.
Really?
Because it's on Netflix. That's what you do with a Netflix film. No, I'm kidding. That was rude. I take it back. But what I saw of him, I thought it was pretty funny. I don't have an opinion on the film itself, and I've never seen the first Happy Gilmore.
I have.
What can I say before we go into these two
I
films?
just wanted talking about him being a great actor, a very interesting actor. I think
Yes.
we've discussed that he's my perfect casting for the
the
judge.
yeah, for
from
the
Blood
judge.
Meridian, Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian. I think he can pull it off. I think he
He's
has the
never
angelic
done.
face.
He's never done menacing. I'm not sure he can pull. I mean, maybe. He's a good actor, so he's very versatile. So
I would love to see him try.
yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
he needs to be older though. I think
Oh, he
he
does
needs
need
to age a little bit
He
before.
needs 15 more years or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think so. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously committing to being an actor, and I think in the coming years he will probably become more famous and more known
As an actor?
as an actor. I think as a character actor, yeah, for sure. He plays Agamemnon in the upcoming
Odyssey.
Odyssey. I guess he's buddy with Nolan.
What do you know about the Safdies? Let's start with the because we're both fans of the Safdies, but I don't know anything about their
they
background.
are indie filmmakers from New York.
How indie are they? How do you get into this business without having any money? Is this kind of what I'm
I don't
curious
know
about.
if they had some money to start with, but they began making short films that started playing at festivals. I can't comment on their family situation. I don't know if they come from money. I don't think so, because one of their films, Daddy Longlegs, is about it's pretty much inspired and based on their father, who is a divorcee kind of. I mean, he's a Safdian protagonist.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. Their uncle is a famous architect, but I think he's based in Canada. Moshe Safdie.
Yeah, and I want to sound like it's a nepo situation because they're clearly very
No,
talented. both
they're
of them.
part of. No, there's no. I don't think there's any nepotism here. I think they're part of a community of filmmakers that supported each other in New York, along with Casey Neistat and Casey Neistat's brother, and the other two filmmakers, the guys who made Catfish,
Oh yeah, I
the
have seen
documentary.
Catfish, yeah.
and who have since gone on to have a career making somewhat forgettable action films. But yeah, those two guys are also part of that same community, and you can find short films that they made early on YouTube. Some of them are shot on film, a lot of them are shot on either 8 or 16 mil. So yeah, they found money somewhere, but they don't look amazing. Like it's not. These are American short films. America doesn't have government funding bodies that support short films. So
Yeah, it is wild.
it's scrappy. It's
Yeah,
incredibly
the Bulgarian
scrappy.
short films often look much higher quality than American short
Yeah,
films.
our short films look better than the early Safdie brothers short films.
Purely visually.
Purely visually, but obviously that doesn't mean much, because
Yeah.
they're obviously incredibly talented. There's no way of knowing who brings what to the table. I never know how these sibling collaborations work. Like, I don't know how would one go about co-directing. I don't know how that works. I know that Benny operated the boom mic on a lot of their films, actually. As recently as Good Time, he was one of the boom operators on that film. I don't know. It's a very scrappy, go-getter attitude, I guess. And how do you break into the industry? I guess you make.
A very, very good
No, you
fucking
make
film.
with each new film, you make it slightly bigger. That's how you do it, I guess. It's just in their case, it happened relatively quickly, given that they were quite young when they started getting noticed. They got really lucky because Robert Pattinson approached them and told them that he wants to work with them, and they kind of built Good Time around that. And he approached them just based on seeing their previous film. So
The Pleasures of Being Robbed?
no. The name escapes me right now, but it's a drama film based on a real person who plays herself, pretty much, a former drug addict,
Yeah.
based on her memoirs. Heaven Can Wait, I think, is the name of the film. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if it's a case of right place, right time, I guess. But now they are definitely establishment.
Yeah?
They have mentioned in many interviews that the whole time Uncut Gems was the thing they were building towards.
Sorry, heaven knows what.
Heaven knows what, sorry. So after finishing finally Uncut Gems, I guess they had the feeling of having fulfilled their dreams, I guess, and now they had to find new things to say and new things to do, and they decided to split up. I don't know if there's anything more about it.
I feel like there was some scandal.
There was a scandal with one of their producers, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think they were involved with it, but they did split up after that. But if there's any connection,
We don't know. It's purely speculative.
I don't even want to speculate because there's no reason to. Like, there's no. I haven't read anything worrisome about them. Weirdly, I did kind of fall out of love with them, but in the wait between 2019 and now, because I guess that happens whenever I get super hyped up about a certain filmmaker, and then after a while I get exhausted from knowing too much about them and I move on to the next filmmaker. I definitely hyperfixate on filmmakers sometimes.
You sure have a fixate on Guadagnino for a bit?
I don't mind that. I like obsessing over careers, I like following careers, and I also recognize that quite often there is a point when a filmmaker becomes too well established and too successful, there is a moment where the work ends up suffering. It can happen.
We certainly feeling like it happened with Lanthimos.
I was never a big Lanthimos fan though. There's no love lost there. Like I was never the big Lanthimos fanboy.
Kinodontis is still one of the most just what the fuck experiences I've had. Just all inspiring. Purely because, one of those ones when you were like, holy shit, you can do this.
Yeah.
This is allowed. So it was an important moment for me.
Yeah. As for the Safdies, as I said, they decided to make films separately. One thing that Benny did in between Uncut Gems and this, he produced, created, and co-wrote the series The Curse, and he also acts in it. I have to say The Curse is a billion times more interesting than The Smashing Machine, even though a lot of the creative team behind The Curse is also the creative team behind Smashing Machine.
Interesting.
The DOP is the same one. Basically, it seems like Josh got most of the crew behind Uncut Gems.
Yeah, you can feel it, definitely.
And it seems as though Benny is more consciously trying to do something different.
I was gonna say, I feel like very deliberately he went into a different direction.
Absolutely.
Same obsessions, same core things, core themes, but very different approach.
But both films are about, I'm sure this is just a coincidence, but both films are about sport. Both films are about people who are obsessed with winning and they're destined to lose. And both films have extended sequences set in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit, didn't think of that until you mentioned it.
And both films have...
Maybe they're just sweeps.
No, Japan is a big part of the sports world. In the case of Marty Supreme, it's about ping pong, and obviously ping pong never became big in the States. It's much more respected and bigger in Asia. And in the case of Smashing Machine, it's about the UFC.
Which did become a huge thing in the States.
Eventually, exactly.
Eventually. So
I gotta say, one thing that there's a quality to them that I really respect and that I envy, which is that they are very empathetic towards all sorts of people. All of their characters are usually underdogs. Let's go this way.
Okay. They're all very flawed, often very unlikable characters.
Yeah.
But you do sympathize with them.
But there's an openness to work with unprofessional actors, including people that have gone viral online, and they seem to be more tolerant and open toward people that, when I see them, I wonder, who did you vote for?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
especially in the case of Marty Supreme.
No, you mean in the case of the Smashing Machine?
No, you know something I don't?
Well,
maybe.
Everyone on Smashing Machine is the kind of person who would guest on Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah,
so in that
all
sense,
Trump voters.
I can
have
only
no doubt.
assume that everyone in the Smashing Machine is a Trump voter. Now, I'm not saying that is not a reason to empathize with these characters. I'm saying that the Safdies are better and more empathetic than I am,
Certainly.
because I have become incredibly intolerant over the last few years, and I wonder if it's time for me to reevaluate that aspect of myself, because I think it's a little limiting. There's a lot of stunt casting, especially in Marty Supreme. There's people that are famous for other things being cast here as actors and doing a good job. The same thing happens in The Smashing Machine. The guy who plays his best friend.
Oh, he's great.
He's great. Actually,
very
he's really good, and he's
MMA, right?
He's an MMA fighter, and he's never acted in his life. So these guys are good at getting performances from non-actors. The other guy in The Smashing Machine, the older one who has the tandem problems.
Yeah, also great.
Also great, also a real person. Now he's acted in some films, but he's also a real fighter, Bas Rutten. And he plays himself actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and
you mentioned his name. And he's very good. He's
very good. Everyone, I mean, across the board, I think they get really good performances from non-actors. The fact that those non-actors are sometimes famous is a bit distracting. In the case of Marty Supreme, we have Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank playing the villain.
And who's known to be
an asshole.
A very smarmy, shitty guy.
Yeah, and obviously...
Very good actor. Very good in... I don't know if he's good actor, he's good in this.
He's really well utilized in this, yes.
It is stunt casting. You take a piece of shit to play a piece of shit. It looks very good on film.
Yeah, and he knows he's a piece of shit. I mean...
Oh, I bet.
I think the only common crew member between the two films is the casting director, actually. So, I forgot her name. But she obviously knows how to find faces and how to find people who are personas, and then it's the responsibility of the directors to somehow get a performance out of these people, and they seem to be really good at that. So right off the bat, I have to say they both seem to be really good at that.
But I think we both know which film we think is better.
I think The Smashing Machine is an exercise. I think it's just it feels like I'm watching a film where he's just trying out some stuff. I don't get the feeling that he is passionate about it. I might be wrong. I know that this was a passion project for Dwayne Johnson, more so than for him. As far as I know, I think he approached him for the film.
Really?
Yeah. And obviously, this is an attempt on the part of The Rock to be taken seriously as an actor and to win awards.
And he's doing the whole Oscar Beatty thing with total transformation.
Let's talk about.
Yeah, let's start with The Smashing Machine.
We have to start with The Smashing Machine. Yeah. It came out some time ago, but we didn't watch it in the theater. We waited so that we could watch both films in one day. So let's start with The Smashing Machine. Go ahead and tell me what you think about it.
So first of all, I had no interest in seeing The Smashing Machine.
Yeah, but
I'm not interested in the UFC. I just was not very intrigued by the trailer.
Yeah.
The only thing that piqued my interest was Benny Safdie.
Mm-hmm.
But even knowing it's Benny Safdie, it felt like it's not going to be a Safdie-esque film. So I was, sports drama, I don't know if I care. So when the film started, for like the first 20 minutes or so, I was very invested. I was surprised at how much I liked the opening.
Uh-huh.
I love the music. The funny thing is, I just got into the composer of The Smashing Machine. She's a saxophone player, I think.
Uh-huh. So you got into her as an artist.
Yes.
And then you found out that she's composing the score for Smashing Machine.
Yes. Just give me a second to... Nala Cinefro is her name. Belgian Caribbean jazz musician.
Okay.
So just a few days ago, like a week ago, I heard her music for the first time and I was very impressed. And when I heard she's the composer, I was very pleasantly surprised. And the music is great. The original score for The Smashing Machine, I think is very, very good. There's
not much of it though.
Yeah, there's not much of it. There's a lot of needle drops. There's a lot of needle drops in both of the films.
Yeah, but
at one point I kind of got tired of the needle drops in The Smashing Machine.
Uh-huh.
So I was very invested for like the first 20 minutes or so.
As a drama, or in what way? What were you liking about it? What were you enjoying about the film?
I really like the opening scene. I really like the way the character was kind of, you see him fighting and you see him being this aggressive opposing presence who just smashes people in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about it on like a podcast or something in a radio interview.
No, it's an interview because talking about in the film.
Yeah,
it's
set
in the 90s,
so it's not a podcast. So it's a radio interview. Yeah. He's talking about it with some great passion, and I just enjoy the contrast of his very like calming voice and presence, while seeing him being incredibly violent, but also very courteous to people around him.
Yeah.
So I was immediately kind of intrigued by this character.
Mhm.
And then we get into the drama of him never have lost a fight.
Mhm.
And the first time he loses a fight, he kind of cannot emotionally handle it.
Mhm.
So I was invested in that,
Yeah.
honestly. And I think The Rock, first of all, the makeup was pretty good. I mean,
pretty
he
good.
doesn't look like Mark Kerr, but he doesn't look like The Rock, so
Yeah,
it doesn't look fake.
It's,
and the
it's
skin is
just,
very realistic.
Yeah, it's just the right amount.
Just the right amount. It is transformative. I think he mostly did a very good job. But somewhere around, and also he has like a drug problem that we learn about.
An opiates.
An opiate, yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Painkillers, I think.
Painkillers, yeah.
Yeah. And so for about 35 minutes, I was in the groove of the film. I was enjoying it very much. And then it started to lose me. And I felt like it was kind of stuck in one place.
Mhm.
And I was getting less and less invested in the drama. And it kind of never picked up for me again.
Mhm.
And I felt like it was kind of meandering and unsure of itself and not very, as you said, not really invested in what was happening.
Did you picture a different film at some point? Like
Yeah.
when he got stuck at home, having to deal with not being able to fight? Did you maybe imagine that the film would go in a more more in the direction of a drama about a person recovering from addiction, or a drama about the opiate crisis, if you will, or about...
Honestly, no.
No?
I was waiting for it to get back to being a sports drama. Maybe
Did-
because,
okay, I actually
because of the trailer.
Like, okay, sure, but I kept imagining a different film, which is never a good sign.
Yeah.
But this has more to do with my own lack of interest in the subject matter, maybe.
Well, the thing is, we also the very end of the film we see the actual marker,
Yes.
and
He's not dead.
he's not dead. He's good. He's retired from fighting. He seems to be doing well. I guess my problem is I didn't understand why this guy deserved a biopic.
There you go. That's
And this is the
a very rude way of putting it, but it's accurate. I had the same feeling, and I'm trying to sort of question it a little bit, because if the film had provided more criticism of the harsh conditions that these people exist under.
yeah. I was expecting it to be more like The Wrestler, which
The thing is,
It's
this film comes from a position of love for the sport.
yeah, and not for this person. Like The Rock seems to be
Yeah.
really a fan.
Yeah, exactly. And it stops it from living up to any potential for it to be more of an indictment
Yeah,
or
more
criticism.
revealing and yeah, more.
And then what you're left with is a sports drama about the UFC, and nobody dies.
And nothing majorly-
insane happens
A
at
guy
any point.
loses, he cries for a bit, and then the next time he loses, he seems to be more mentally prepared to deal with
Right,
it.
and
Which is his character arc.
I'm thinking of something that Roger Ebert said to Scorsese when Scorsese made The Color of Money,
Mm-hmm.
and Roger Ebert told him, "You can't get away with this. Like, we need more, we expect more from you." And I feel the same way about Benny Safdie right now.
Yeah, I also feel the same way about Color of Money, which I finally saw.
Yeah,
recently
yeah.
and Wasn't. I
This
love The
is mo-
Hustler,
Yeah,
and I expect more from from everybody involved, kind of.
I expect more from Benny Safdie. Obviously, he doesn't have to do the Safdie-esque thing.
No,
He's free to do whatever he wants.
but he needs to like actually
But
put his card into
this
it.
is not, if the task was to make a straight drama that works as a straight drama, I need more than what happens in this film. The acting is too measured, it's too subtle, it's too soft. And
Everybody's good in it.
everyone is good, but there's no like shining moment.
Yeah, it just kind of it reaches a plateau and it just stays there.
Honestly, I'm not that surprised to find out that The Rock can act. I don't think that was the question. I don't think that was the debate.
I mean, he's already the biggest, or at least he was until very recently, like the
likable.
only.
Yeah.
Him and Tom Cruise and like the only bankable people in Hollywood.
Well, okay, which doesn't necessarily translate into them being versatile actors, but
Yeah, I mean Schwarzenegger's not a versatile actor, and he was a big star. But The Rock has shown through the years that he is versatile and he's more capable and more nuanced than somebody like Schwarzenegger.
well, Schwarzenegger is a special case because he's larger than life to a degree that nobody has ever been. And
Yeah, and
I've
nobody
seen him.
could ever be.
There was a
okay.
film that came out, one of the last ones with him, called Flight whatever number, about a grieving grandpa who lost his daughter and his granddaughter in a plane crash. It's a straight drama that stars Arnold for some reason, and it's jarring because there are scenes where he is objectively acting the best he's ever acted. And you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, okay, but so what? Like,
Is this why
Play-
we're here? Yeah.
play with the larger than life aspect. You know, just make that thing, make it well.
Well, he's been doing that for his whole career, so let the guy spread his wings.
I don't know. I feel like there's a great unmade Schwarzenegger film, but it's
Well,
not.
you don't
it's
have a lot of time
too-
to do it. Yeah.
There's not much time left, I think. But yeah, I think I think there was there should have been someone who did something for him that would be transcendent, but using his iconic image. With The Rock, yeah, he's obviously more versatile as an actor, but also the film does do the, you know, he does kind of hide his face when he's crying. The film is very tailor-made to make him look good.
Yeah, you can figure that.
He doesn't do anything unsafe,
and the film suffers for it.
it feels just as calculated and measured as everything else he's been doing. He's still managing a brand, you know.
That is true.
He is still, because he's Mr. Brandman. He's been criticized for that, and this film is supposed to be him unleashing whatever acting skills he has and showing more. And to me, it still feels calculated. It still feels like, maybe I'm projecting, but I can see him thinking about
How he's gonna come
the
off.
respectability that comes with this film.
Yeah.
He's not getting lost here. He's not. He can do better, I think. He can do more. And
I
this
think
film
so.
could have been better. With this character, he could have done more.
I feel so, yeah, and which explains like the lukewarm reception,
Yeah.
box office-wise, the review-wise.
reception was exactly that, lukewarm. It was, oh, this is cool.
It was fine, but
This is nobody's favorite film this year.
absolutely nobody. Which is a shame because there was a lot of effort put in by the people involved. Emily Blunt is a highlight.
No, she's great.
She's
but the
also
character is not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Emily Blunt, terrific actress. She is transformed. She is playing a very different kind of character, and you totally believe that. If you've never seen an Emily Blunt film, a film with Emily Blunt,
Yeah.
you would never think that she is a different kind of person.
Yeah.
But there's nothing interesting happening with the character.
Yeah.
Even the big escalation, their like biggest fight in the film, there's something missing. Like even the way it's shot and the way it's just blocked and stuff is just way too. There's something even with the fight scenes. There's something floaty. There's not this immediacy. There's not this visceral quality that Marty Supreme has, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know that this is a film trying to do a very different thing, but you would think that the very high stakes moments will be handled better
Yeah.
by a Safdie brother.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, it's like a 6 out of 10.
He doesn't have to do, like I said, he doesn't have to do Safdie-esque things. And his next film, the one that he's working on right now, is apparently inspired in tone by The Princess Bride. He's doing a kids film next.
It's wonderful.
So obviously he's not even remotely interested in doing the typical Safdie-esque
Yeah, and
thing.
he doesn't have to be, but he just needs to do better.
His next film is based on some novel that I have never heard of, but The Rock will act in it again, which is nice. It means that The Rock didn't throw him under the bus after the lukewarm success of this film. If you've seen pictures of The Rock really skinny recently, it's for the film.
Okay.
He's lost a lot of weight and he'll be undergoing heavy makeup again to play like a 70-year-old.
Damn.
So there's more coming from these two filmmakers.
Also,
these
didn't
two
The Rock
artists?
Didn't The Rock say the same thing that Dave Bautista was saying, that because he also lost a lot of weight because he feels like he's kind of getting old, it's not healthy for him to maintain that body mass.
True as well. Yeah, of course.
So it's not just for the
I'm pretty
part.
sure The Rock has had several health scares. I think Arnold had a heart attack or a heart condition. That he's the vegan now. All these guys end up having to.
Oh yeah, this is not a.
You're not
this is not
supposed
natural.
to. There's moments in Smashing Machine where I look at him and I'm like, okay, you're acting well, but your body does not look like a UFC fighter.
Yeah, that was kind of distracting because you see the
This-
other
you're-
guys
you're too
who
big.
kind of needy and flabby and
Yeah.
spots, very
Yeah,
tough guys who gonna beat your skull in, but
Yeah.
they're not built like a like a bodybuilder. They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
built like a TV wrestler. So that was
Uh-huh.
kind of distracting.
Uh-huh.
He should have gone a bit flabbier, maybe.
Maybe, but because he's a brand, maybe
Yeah.
he's thinking about how much time he has between the next time he has to appear in top shape. I mean, all these things are taking into consideration.
Yeah, but it is kind of distracting.
It is. I mean, Batista.
Took away from the film.
It's much more important for Batista to be taken seriously as an
Oh, yeah.
actor than The Rock. I mean, Batista has committed real hard in being remembered as an actor.
Yeah, that is
Whereas The Rock, I think, has zero problems about being known as an entrepreneur, businessman, brand / occasional actor. I mean, these are two completely different individuals, and I guess John Cena is somewhere in the middle. I mean, if you want to watch a more interesting and unhinged performance from The Rock, you just
and Gain?
Pain and Gain. Honestly, I know you haven't seen it, but yeah, Pain and I mean, it's a crude film. It's not a particularly tastefully made film, but you know what you're watching when you. I mean, if you decide to watch a Michael Bay film, like, don't expect subtlety.
Can we discuss the thing we've discussed about Pain and Gain and the difference between Michael Bay and Scorsese when dealing with flawed characters?
Well, it's the thing where Michael Bay is obviously enjoying making fun of idiots, or what aspect do you mean? Which
Yeah,
aspect?
exactly. It
Yeah,
kind of,
he's-
there's cruelty where there's sympathy in like Scorsese and the Safdies.
Yeah, and that's the cruelty that I've been feeling lately in the Trump era, and that's
Okay.
maybe the cruelty that I should rise above. I don't think that Michael Bay is some kind of progressive guy. I think he's a liberal, but I don't think he's a progressive.
Yeah.
But when I watch Pain and Gain, I participate in that enjoyment of watching these idiots be idiots and do stupid things. And obviously the proper approach, or the intelligent approach towards characters like that, is to do it with a certain amount of empathy, I guess.
Or at least to try
Safdies-
to investigate
Yeah.
what makes these people
The
tick.
Safdies have plenty of empathy, I think.
I feel so.
What else is
Maybe
there
too
to
much
say?
empathy.
Well, no,
For
I
some
mean, I
kind of-
haven't.
I don't know.
I haven't seen them. So far, the only thing that's actually rubbed me wrong about the Safdies is that Benny Safdie showed up on the Logan Paul podcast to talk about the Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
And looking at it, I'm like, okay, I can actually see both Safdie brothers casting Logan Paul in a film.
Absolutely. And
Or
he
Jake
probably
Paul.
the thing is
And he was probably really good in it.
to get him to do good performances.
Exactly.
Because it's not. This is the thing, like with the Poles, unfortunately. They have this.
They have charisma.
They have charisma. This is that kind of Trumpian charisma in a way.
Yeah, yeah,
When you know these people are pieces of shit and you
Yeah.
hate them, but they are compulsively watchable.
Yeah.
Even in their worst moments.
Yeah.
Which is a horrible quality to have.
So
I
I
mean-
wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul pops up in the next Safdie film.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. I don't think he deserves it, but he'll probably do good in it.
Well,
Somebody
I'm not sure if
capable-
Mr. Wonderful deserves the attention that he got in this film, but he gives a great performance.
He does.
And now
give
that
a
I've
good
seen it, I can't picture anyone else in that role. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I'm not where you are. Not. I'm still angry at the world, and I'm not reevaluating.
I'm just trying
Where
to
I draw
be. I'm
borders.
trying to be careful when I talk about art, because I don't want to become the kind of person who not only fails to separate the art from the artist, but like spends most of the time talking about the problems with the artist instead of focusing on the artwork.
That's a good point. That's why I mostly wait for the problematic people to die before I delve back into their catalog.
That's
Like,
a frame
I'm
of
not-
mind that I want to get into before we eventually get to talking about, for example, Quentin Tarantino. But yeah, anyway, Smashing Machine. 6 out of 10 sounds about right.
It's more than milquetoast, but it is disappointing. Somebody much more capable, just not put
Because-
all of their heart into it.
because the film is tethered to a real person. The film it cannot go in a crazy Safdie-esque direction,
That is true.
which obviously wasn't the intention anyway. But for example, Marty Supreme, the character is kind of inspired by a real person,
Yeah,
but it's not based on a real
It's
person.
well the Llewyn Davis thing.
Yeah.
So, if it's just inspired by a person, you can go wherever the fuck you want.
And before we move on to Marty Supreme, I just want to also point out that The Smashing Machine is based on a documentary from 2002,
Okay,
which is called The Smashing Machine.
okay. I
And
did not know that.
I've seen clips from it. And
Are they lovingly recreated in the film?
exactly, there are scenes in this film that are verbatim taken from the documentary. And I think that Benny Safdie seems to be obsessed with recreating reality. Like he talks about how he fell in love with Nathan Fielder and wanted for them to collaborate when he watched the famous smoking episode.
Yes, from Nathan for You.
Yeah.
Which is the one I've seen. It's amazing. It's very hard for me to watch Nathan Fielder stuff
because you have a cringe
I
problem.
have a very strong cringe aversion.
Yeah.
And this is his
Well,
whole thing.
He is a genius.
He is a genius. He's a modern genius.
He invented something to be good in. Because I don't think he's not doing the Borat thing. It's a different thing. He's not.
Oh
doing,
yes,
yeah.
very much. Much more compassionate.
Yeah.
And much more empathetic than the Borat thing.
And then with the curse, you can kind of also see him be a pretty interesting actor.
Okay.
So Nathan Fielder he's an original. He's a different kind of human being.
Oh yes.
And I'm really happy that Benny Safdie collaborated with him because the curse, not a perfect thing by any measure, but I loved watching it and it lingers in my mind. It will be very cringe if you want to watch it. Like it will be very difficult for you to watch
It's going to
it.
be very hard for me.
Emma Stone is amazing in it.
She's amazing in general.
Yeah, but she's amazing in it.
Okay, I believe.
And Benny Safdie is very good as well.
Did you see the rehearsal?
No, I've started watching the rehearsal and I have to finish the first season before I get into the second season. But I know what happens in the second season. I know the
it's
big
been
thing
spoiled
that
for you.
happens. And it's amazing that it happened.
Yeah.
And let's not spoil it for anyone. Which way do we want to go?
What is happening? Jesus
Before we get trapped in our own Safdie film. Oh my god. So just to say, the original documentary was made by John Hyams, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, who later went on to become a pretty accomplished direct-to-video action director.
Okay.
He's the son of Peter Hyams, who directed Time Cop and 2010: A Space Odyssey.
Damn.
And his son, who directed the original documentary, went on to direct the two better than they have any right to be sequels to Universal Soldier that you might have heard of, starring again Van Damme and Dolph
I've
Lundgren.
seen Universal Soldier 2.
No, I'm talking about the straight-to-video ones that came
Okay.
out. One of them came out in 2008, I think. It was shot in Bulgaria.
Okay.
So
I should
that guy,
get into it.
they've tried to sort of turn him into a more respectable director, but it hasn't happened yet. I think lately he's been directing TV. Nicholas Winding Refn wanted to work with him on a series based on Maniac Cop. Anyway, this is a long tangent, but I just want to shout out the guy because The Smashing Machine is entirely built on his work. Like the original documentary, I think it was his first film from 2002. And I'm not gonna say that this film is lazy for basically trying to recreate a documentary as a fiction film that looks like a documentary.
It feels very, Abbas Kiarostami-like.
Well, except for the part where Abbas Kiarostami, I mean, I've only seen Close Up, and Close Up is amazing. And
Yeah. Well, he's the one doing both the documentaries and the recreations, but it's kind of
true.
a weird connection.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I
Amazing.
say it looks like an exercise. It looks like an idea, much like remaking Psycho, for example, is an exercise. But you end up wondering why. Why was this made? For whom is this made? And that's why it's a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, but talking about the remake of Psycho, I love the story because so famously Gus Van Sant, in I think it was 1998, he made a shot-for-shot remake of Psycho.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Yeah,
I know, but when a journalist asked him
Why? Yeah.
he said, "So nobody else has to."
Well,
I feel like it was less of an exercise and more like deliberate sabotage
okay. In the
on the
case
side of the director, so nobody else will try to fuck with.
well, good. I'm
with a
happy that
classic.
it happened. In the case of the Smashing Machine, I feel like he did it because he could.
Yeah.
Because The Rock called him, and he wanted to work with The Rock.
And he tried to make it interesting for himself as a director.
Exactly, for himself as a director.
While
exactly.
still trying to fulfill his mandate obligation to The Rock.
Yeah. It feels like the kind of film that you would make in your off hours between acting in like 10 movies, because it's a small movie. It's a very small scale movie compared to Marty Supreme.
Oh yes.
Marty Supreme, on the other hand,
It's an exercise in excess.
it's
in
an
many ways.
exercise in excess, and it's also something that justifies the gap between the films. So Uncut Gems was in 2019. This is coming 6 years later.
It looks like a thing
And
that
if you
took
told
6
me
years.
that yeah, exactly. If you told me that he spent 6 years prepping it, I would believe you. If Benny Safdie decided to move away from the Safdie-esque, it seems like Josh Safdie has decided to
Double down.
triple down to an insane degree. There are certain moments in this film that, to me, feel almost like a parody of what Safdie-esque means. Specifically, the moment with the gas station, the escalation there.
Yeah.
Also, the Safdies, I think they're great writers, but they do suffer a little bit of the from the and then type of writing style. Would you say that it's okay? There's this video essay by Every Frame of Painting that talked about how Trey Parker and Matt Stone, when they write South Park episodes, they always make sure that when you connect two scenes, it has to be therefore or but.
Yes, and never.
And then meanwhile, at the farm, like you have a B plot. And sometimes with the Safdie brothers, I get the feeling that they need to have and then sometimes. For example, in Good Time, and then the guy he broke out of hospital, it's actually not his brother, it's some other guy. And you end up asking questions such as, well, wouldn't he notice? Like, they always test your suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
This film, very much so. And the fact that it works, nevertheless, only speaks to how good he is, in this case, Josh Safdie, and his co-writer, Ronald Bronstein, who is also co-writer on most of their films. And also the star of Daddy Longlegs. Like it's a long-time collaborator. So he also needs to be mentioned when talking about this film. Did it work for you?
I had a lot of fun.
Yes, undeniably.
Undeniably, there's a lot of things I really loved. There are moments that went a bit too far, that I was kind of... The thought occurred to me, because this is a 3-hour film, and like a previous discussion we had on the previous episode, I felt like I could imagine this being a miniseries. Because you had several...
No, not this time.
Okay, hear me out though.
Okay.
Because you have like several... This is a thought I have. I'm not saying
okay.
I would like to have it, but watching the film I was like, okay, so this is like a third escalation which gets kind of ridiculous and out of control.
Yeah.
And I felt like this, if it was a series, every episode would have one of these moments and will keep you engaged.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got to the finish of the film in Japan, I knew that if this was a series, it wouldn't hit as hard. You needed to be on this prolonged journey, going through all of the shit that Marty has been, in order for this to pay off emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there were moments that I was kind of on the verge of the film jumping the shark for me. It never did completely, and I think it worked very well.
That's part of the enjoyment factor for me, because it's almost like watching a trapeze artist or something. Like it's watching someone walk a tightrope, you know?
I agree.
The ways in which he doesn't fuck up, the ways in which he manages to get back on track are impressive.
I agree. I really enjoyed Marty Supreme much more than I enjoyed the Smashing Machine, because I can...
Yeah, but there's no contest. There's no contest.
It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, apples and oranges.
On the one side, but also one of them was clearly very much more passionate about what
much
they
more
were doing.
interesting, much more, as you say, passionate. Yeah.
And it's interesting. I don't know why, but I felt the Scorsese-like influence much more here than I did even in Uncut Gems. Like visually.
Okay.
And just like the zoom lenses and some of the decisions of how he blocked certain scenes felt very Scorsese-like.
Okay.
Scorsese influence, which has always been, I don't know, always Good Time and Uncut Gems certainly have Scorsese all over it, but I felt it even more here. Great performances by everybody involved, even Gwyneth Paltrow, which I've never been a...
No, she's a good actor, and she's great here.
She is very good here.
But
she's very good
you got so many non-actors showing up, not just Mr. Wonderful, but also he's great. He's really good. But also you got Abel Ferrara.
Yeah, I was so happy to see him.
Kind of stealing the show when he shows up.
Even though the thing when they went for the dog, it was one of the moments when I was, okay, this is kind of getting a bit silly.
Yes, yeah, but it is so interesting though, and it's so fun. I love this film. I don't think... It's not Uncut Gems. Uncut
It
Gems
is very similar to Uncut Gems. One of the problems with Marty Supreme, in many ways, it is
It's not
a
as
do-over.
in
many ways, I feel like the themes, the characters, there's a lot
well,
of
that's
things.
just their themes in general. I think.
Yeah, but this is much closer.
It's different
to,
though, because no, I would push back on that a little bit, because I think Uncut Gems is much more overtly about a guy with a problem. It's about a guy who has an addiction, and whereas Marty Supreme is about a guy who fancies himself really good at something.
Yeah.
And those are two different things, or at least I hope they are different things. And actually, the film got me thinking. Both films, up to a point, but specifically Marty Supreme, got me thinking about how good humans are at inventing things to be good at, and then building industry around it, and then building cottage industries around it, and journalism and media around it, and product around
Just
it.
a subculture around
Yeah.
the silliest little things.
Exactly. Like sport is a good example in general for that. Like it's not a naturally occurring phenomenon, much like art. But obviously in my mind I think art is better because I want to make art. But in the end, is it? And I do wonder if obviously the film, the drive that this character has is mirrored by any filmmaker basically. I mean, this is definitely, you can tell that this is made by a person who was very passionate about making films. This is somebody, like every time Marty gets no for an answer, that's probably coming straight from Josh's experience hearing no on his way to success, you know. And the film does address the degrees to which that can be toxic.
Oh yeah, he is a very toxic character. He's a very
insanely
unlikable.
toxic.
He's incredibly narcissistic. The scene when he gets into bed with Gwyneth Paltrow, I don't think that's a spoiler.
No,
You-
it's in
the
pretty
trailer.
heavily suggested in the trailer.
But yeah,
That's
but
what's gonna happen.
I love the moment when she gets into his room and then we see him looking at himself in the mirror and smiling.
Yeah.
And this kind of tells you everything about this
It's
character.
very important to remember the character is supposed to be 23 years old.
Yeah.
So this is about the whereas Timothée Chalamet, who by the way, let's just get it out there, he's amazing in the film.
He is very good.
Like, I know you don't love him, but
This is his best performance.
yeah, yeah.
Bar none.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's a powerhouse in this.
I would not mind at all if he wins an Oscar for this film. But
It would be well deserved,
yeah.
I think.
but the character is incredibly toxic.
Yeah?
Do we need to go into the plot? I mean, he's obsessed with becoming rich and famous as the greatest ping pong player. And this is set in the 50s, so you obviously, this is before it was clear that ping pong wasn't going to be the next big thing.
Yeah. We as an audience kind of have the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah.
So we know he's doomed, more or less. He doesn't know it.
We know he's doomed because he's a character in the Safdie film.
That is also true.
The question is to what degree is he doomed? And obviously this is where the film is quite different from
Yeah,
Uncut
it's
Gems.
much more optimistic and much more redemptive in many ways.
I don't want to
completely
spoil the
redemptive.
ending, but let's say that he gets a version of what he wants. And he changes right after that.
Yeah.
Which I think is possibly a little too optimistic. I don't think validation cures narcissism. And in his case, it wasn't even the validation that he sought. Like,
What was the second best thing he's gonna get? So maybe the whole thing was building up to him
it almost
slowly dawning on him that this
Exactly.
is the best he's gonna get.
Yeah, and it feels as though in the end his mind has been cleared. He has realized how much of an asshole he has been.
I think that's good. I honestly,
It's a positive ending.
It's a positive ending, and it's a variation of the theme. I like that this exists as a variation.
I agree.
It didn't strike me as being unbefitting of the character.
Mm-hmm.
Running it back into my head.
Yeah.
I think like the seeds have been sown for him to going through all of this shit.
Yeah.
Realize that he's not going to be the winner.
Did you recognize yourself in the character at any point, or do you feel as though if you ever had these traits, they're no longer part of you? You've outgrown them?
I would hope that most of this has been outgrown in my 20s.
Sure, but do you recognize any of your 20s in this character?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I think anyone who wants to be good at something, anyone who wants to do something, can recognize themselves in this character. There are moments where he says things to people that sound disgusting, and I definitely, watching it, caught myself thinking, okay, I have said
A version of something.
a
like
version
that, yeah.
of this to people that I love,
I have been this arrogant.
and I have felt guilty almost immediately as I was saying it. Sometimes people talk like that almost as a form of affirmation. You want to repeat it almost as a mantra because you're paranoid that people are trying to sabotage you, and you want to assert yourself, and in asserting yourself you end up hurting people. Now in this case he actually had people trying to sabotage him, so he did have odds against him, but not I mean,
I wish that we knew more about the mother situation, to be honest.
true. Should we talk a little bit about what the ticking clock is in the film, like what the stakes are? I mean, he has to go to Japan and he needs money. It's one of those types of
Yeah, so the film starts in like the first like 30-40 minutes, or like a straight up sports film. Kind of like the Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
In many ways. Then you get a moment similar to the Smashing Machine in many ways.
Yeah.
Where our character loses, and he's not really prepared to handle that. But where the Smashing Machine kind of meanders after this point, Marty Supreme, it kind of completely changes its what the film is about, the focus of the film, and goes into unexpected directions. And then it turns it like
into
really
more
into
into a proper Safdie film.
Yeah, because our Marty loses his bid to be world champion. He feels he's been robbed and it wasn't fair. So everything that he does is trying to get money to go back to Japan for the next tournament.
Yeah.
But where things get complicated is that because he was a complete ass in the first part of the film, being an arrogant little shit, like the chickens have come to roost. The consequences for his actions have caught up to him, so he's been disqualified. There's a hefty fine he needs to pay, and also he doesn't have a lot of time, and he needs to make a lot of money in order to be able to go back to Japan and assert his status as the best ping pong player in the world. And I kind of love that. So this is a ticking clock. He goes through one unbelievable situation onto a next unbelievable situation.
So sometimes it's not even mistakes. Sometimes it's just really weird and bad circumstances. Almost
after
fate.
hours, like
After Hours is a good example. Yeah. I mean, I think this is the Safdie film to end all Safdie films. To be honest, I don't think if Josh wants to continue in this direction, I don't think this degree can be sustained.
I think so. Yeah. I cannot imagine an escalation over this.
No.
3 hours of just nerve-wracking, hilarious, hysterical, and very emotional roller coaster.
And less believable than Uncut Gems.
Oh yes.
More stylized, more hyper real, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fun, but I feel like if he tries to top it,
there is no topping this. I think
it will jump the shark.
Either a lateral move or maybe do something completely different, much like Benny is trying.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think this will be a good coda for
the whole Safdie-esque experiment.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. But nevertheless, the film.
Or he needs to go a lot smaller.
Nobody ever goes smaller.
That's a problem.
That's impossible. The system doesn't allow you to do it unless you have a big failure. Can we highlight the score?
Oh yeah, amazing.
Very Tangerine Dream influenced, in my opinion.
Very 80s.
Conveniently and quite surprisingly, I watched Risky Business yesterday for the first time. And I think there's certain sections in this film that the music directly quotes certain cues from Risky Business.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What did you think of Risky Business?
I really liked it.
I really
liked it.
Okay.
It's very much of its time, but yeah, I think it's a quintessential 80s movie, honestly. And I'm really surprised that the director never made anything. I mean, he has one more film and that's it.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That usually doesn't happen.
He has a few credits as a writer, nothing particularly impressive, and then he hasn't made a film in 30 years.
That is fascinating. And also, I remember you seeing the film and telling me that you think it's like a proto Sean Baker film?
Yeah, or up to a point. I mean, not so much a proto Safdie brothers, but I think also there is correlations between Sean Baker and the Safdies. Yeah, it feels as though, I mean, it's definitely a film that both the Safdies and Sean Baker probably watched and is part of their personal canon of influences.
Very good music. 103 Point Never Again.
Is it him again?
It is him again.
Okay.
Pretty sure. When I said it's very 80s, I mean One Object's Point Ever is very 80s inspired, but also like the film starts with Forever Young by Affaville. It finishes on, should I say? Okay, I'm not going to say the
Well,
what
let's
it
not
finishes
say
on.
what it finishes on, but I do want to talk about something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I watch too many interviews with directors.
Yeah?
And sometimes when I watch an interview with a director, it ends up being spoiled a little bit. I know what the original ending of the film was supposed to be.
Huh.
Would you like me to tell you?
I would like you.
Okay,
you to
remember when Mr. Wonderful says, jokingly but also
vampire?
very seriously, I'm a vampire, I was born in 16 something
yeah.
something. Okay, so the original screenplay ended with an extended montage set to the music that you hear at the end, where you see Marty aging. You see him becoming quite financially successful, doing something that has nothing to do with ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, I think becoming a shoe seller and actually being successful at that. And
Years later,
years later, he's at a concert where the group, the people singing that song are playing in the 80s. Which actually, just then, that would be enough to sort of frame the whole thing, because it would explain why the whole time you're listening to 80s music, because it's a person looking back.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea was, at the end, he would be standing there watching the concert and contemplating how, basically contemplating his entire life and thinking about how, yeah, he's successful and he has love in his life, but it's not doing the thing he wants. It's not the way he wanted.
Uh-huh.
And right then,
He sees
Mr. Wonderful is supposed to jump behind him and bite him on the neck. That was the original ending of this film.
Oh shit, I kind of wanted to see that.
Now that's the question. Do you think that the film would have been better with that ending? Does it add enough?
I don't know.
It
It
does
certainly
sound
feels
like
like
one-
he saw Sinners and decided that he
Oh,
doesn't need to do
that's
that
not-
anymore.
Yeah, maybe
I know,
maybe he saw Sinners and was like, okay, let's not do that.
It sounds fascinating. I wish I could see it. I don't know if it would be
They
a
never
better
shot
ending.
it. They never shot it.
Okay.
They were prepping for it. They had the makeup tests done for old
Timothée?
But also, from what Josh says, nobody ever took the scene seriously as they were prepping the film. Like, everyone in the production was like, okay, so
Expecting
we're
this,
actually
yeah.
doing this? Are we actually doing this? And I think the producers talked him out of it.
Yeah. It wasn't necessary. It would have been a great curiosity to have it like a bonus scene
Okay,
on the Blu-ray.
let's put the vampire thing aside. Would the film feel different for you if it ended on a moment of him contemplating, even though he's had a full life?
Well, yeah, because then it wouldn't be the variation on the theme. It wouldn't be like the optimistic
It would
ending.
still be bitter.
It would still be bitter. Bittersweet, at least.
Yeah. It wouldn't. But do you think, so do you think the film is better the way it is?
I like that there is this more optimistic ending.
Okay.
I like that it gives you the hope that a person like this could change and could go through enough shit to realize and kind of readjust his priorities.
Yeah.
It's good to believe that people are capable of bettering themselves.
It's a good message.
I
It's a
think
good
so.
message to put
Maybe
out
it's
there.
a bit naive. I don't mind it in this day and age.
Yeah. Okay, but would you feel good about this being your life?
I don't know. I'm not in that position. I wouldn't.
Well, you are a filmmaker. You're by definition in Marty's position.
I guess so. I don't know. Ask me in 20 years. I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
This film has made me consider my inner toxicity. I gotta be honest. Yeah, I mean, I do wonder if a happy life but
Away from your
away
obsession.
from my obsession, I do wonder if I wouldn't have that moment where, when I'm 80, I look back and I'm like, well, yeah, but it's not what I wanted.
Well, you strike me as a person who would not allow this to happen. So
It's not really about Marty Supreme. I mean, you can't choose the career you have. You can only do so much, you know.
that is true. That's true. Nobody chooses. Who said that nobody chooses their career? That's a
Brian De
quote.
Palma.
Yeah,
Yeah, Brian De Palma said it in some interview that no director ever chooses the career they have. I mean, I don't want to justify male toxicity. I am only saying that being a man, I have toxicity in me. Being a person who wants to make films, to an obsessive degree. I have that in me, almost to a degree where it can sometimes
Interfere with things,
interfere
yeah.
with actually doing the work, to be honest. So, I don't know. I think it's a good film the film does raise these questions in a serious way, I think. And
Yeah.
You're-
And not in like a didactic way. It
Yeah.
kind of it occurs naturally where even though it's a very in-your-face film, it kind of gently and very step-by-step raises those things. It's
yeah.
these themes kind of without them needing to be spelled out in any way. So that was great, and I really appreciated that. All in all, yeah. Also, yeah. You and me are very different in this way because I feel like your compulsion to make films is stronger than mine.
Well, you have music in your life.
I also have music. I also have my archival work. I don't want to say fallbacks, but I have
No,
like,
it's not a
more
fallback.
diverse
You
interests.
have sincere passions that are beyond filmmaking. I mean, I don't know how personal we want to get in this podcast, but obviously, if you want to have fans, you got to have the parasocial thing going. So, we should maybe put ourselves out there a little bit more. This film definitely made me think about, all those topics. So anyway, keep going. I interrupted you, sorry.
No, that was what I was trying to say is even though we are different
Uh-huh.
to the degree in which we are obsessing over this.
And just for the
This
listeners,
passion
we
of
have
ours.
made things. It's not like we're two people sitting here and talking about film but never actually done the work. Like you have a short film that's playing in HBO. I have one short film as a director and one short film as a producer. You have two
Also, documentary as a producer.
and one documentary as a producer, and you have two short films as a director and
Working on a
a third one that's
I co-written
funded.
a feature film script. I'm working on another one.
Yeah, so we are both doing the work, and so is Noura. So I think that's just want to put it out there,
Yeah.
just so people don't picture two podcasters talking about making a film someday.
I was trying to say that even though those themes would maybe raise those questions more for you, I
Yeah.
felt them as well. So they
Yeah.
are there. They are very subtly and deftly intertwined, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The stakes and is this even worth it? The thing with at the very end when Mr. Wonderful tells him that if he does this, he will never be happy.
Yeah,
With the ending the way it is, I feel
It
it's
feels
a
like
moment
maybe
of
Mr.
realization. This is the thing I was thinking. He tells him that, and the way Marty reacts, you're not really sure if he's ignoring this,
if it got to him,
if
or,
it got to him. But at the end, you realize it did.
Yeah.
And I love that, honestly.
Seems like the original ending was written by someone who's more cynical, who then grew up before they shot the film, almost. Like
Yeah.
it feels like
Feels like something happened. Maybe he had a kid. And
he
maybe
has kids.
kind of-
He has a kid. Yeah, both Safdies have kids.
Maybe that was the moment it kind of changed for them, and they wanted to.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I can't.
This is pure
This is
speculation.
speculation, but obviously these are themes that are present in a lot of their work. They have actually there's one film that I want to shout out that they made early on called Lenny Cook, which is a documentary. It's I think their only documentary, certainly their only feature-length documentary, which is about a guy who was in the same, I don't know if the word is class, but he was in the same part of the same season of new picks with LeBron James, like.
Okay.
And everything about him seemed to indicate that he was going to be the next big thing, and then he completely failed to become the next big thing.
Yeah.
And this is the film ends on this bizarre scene. They found footage of him where the footage is just him leaning on a fence, and I guess whoever was shooting this early videography just sort of lingered on him for a while, which allowed them to then years later get the guy and put him in front of a green screen. And basically the documentary ends with the old guy talking to the young guy
Oh damn.
and telling him all the things that he should have done differently. From memory, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe I'm misremembering, but I think he wasn't really talking to him about all the things he should have done differently in terms of the career. He was talking about all the things he should have done differently in terms of the people who love him. So, maybe I'm misremembering though. But I would like to remember it that way because it would fit with my point a lot better. But yeah, these are things that they have on their mind, I think. And
What else? Great acting is as well. Odessa Azayan is amazing.
well, she's the moment right now.
She deserves to be.
Have you seen the Instagram obsession with her? I mean, basically, the world is in love with her right now. There's
No, but I know that Nora watched that
I Love LA.
I Love LA. Yeah. She is so good in this.
She's really good.
She's so good in this.
Yeah, she steals the. She's great. She's on par with her.
Yes, absolutely. Every time she's on screen, you're kind of watching her.
Yeah,
At least I was.
yeah.
And she's also kind of a flawed character. Everybody has traits that are unlikable. Everybody has a degree of shittiness to them, which makes them, more full characters. You're still able to sympathize with everybody. Beautifully shot, Darius Konjigan.
Yeah.
It's funny because a few days ago, me and Earl watched Delicatessen, and I didn't know it was shot by Darius.
He's French, right?
He is French, from Iranian descent, but he is French, and he started working with Jeunet and a lot of the. I'm not sure if he's ever worked with Besson.
No,
I don't think so.
I think Besson has a guy.
Yeah.
Had a guy, and then he's probably had other guys since then. But I don't think they. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they ever collaborated.
Yeah, it's not worth
Googling
checking.
now.
At
Well,
the moment.
Konji famously shot Seven.
Yes.
Yeah, and he shot Uncut Gems. He's very good. Also, the production designer is Jack Fisk, who, I'm not really a production designer buff, but I've heard that apparently he's an amazing guy. And obviously the film looks amazing. The production design is very good. The film is probably less expensive than it looks.
Which is a feat in itself.
They get a lot of mileage out of sticking to close-ups,
Oh yeah.
and I'm pretty sure they do reuse, like, the exterior street sets are not cleverly used, but not like, I don't think they had like a huge plot of
They were
land.
like built specifically for the film. Right?
They weren't built for the film. I think it's real locations in New York that were dressed, but obviously it's probably like 2 or 3 streets, and then the rest is like
It's good enough.
clever camera positioning.
It's good enough.
It looks really good. I don't know, it's just everyone is bringing their A game. I think it's an insult that Uncut Gems didn't get any Oscar nominations.
I
But
hope this does.
What else is there to say? I mean, would you say this is a 10 out of 10?
Well, no.
Is it a 9 out of 10?
What is a 10 out of 10?
You can never call something a 10 out of 10 straight out of watching it.
I can say that I really enjoyed it. It's
Yeah.
not flawless. I had moments when it felt its length and moments that was kind of on the verge of losing me in a way that, for example, watching Uncut Gems, and I was very much more deeply
Engaged. Invested, yeah.
in Uncut Gems than I was here. I wouldn't necessarily say that Uncut Gems is a better film. It's the more pure version of this. This is going for a bigger, more broader thing, and I appreciate how well it's doing it. But
I think I felt like when I watched Uncut Gems, I definitely felt like this has a good chance of becoming a modern American classic, and I think it has. I think Uncut Gems is like one of the better American films to have come out in.
I agree,
in
and I
recent
don't
times.
think Marty Supreme will have the same staying power. Like it won't be every film bro's like favorite film,
I don't think so either.
but that doesn't mean it's not a great film.
No.
This is always a problem when somebody with a singular vision has the opportunity to go bigger.
Yeah.
There's always something in the purity is lost.
Yeah.
But this is not a fault necessarily.
Yeah.
This is, as we said, it's a variation on a theme. Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, Led Zeppelin going orchestral or something,
Yeah.
We had the 4-piece, and then you do something with like the Indian string orchestra or something like that. Like, you don't even know what I'm talking about.
I'm just nodding
the
along.
live performance of Kashmir. Anyway, it's well for Led Zeppelin because I originally was going to say Metallica.
Yeah.
And nobody likes the orchestral Metallica, so that's not a good.
So you're saying that Marty Supreme is like orchestral, like a different version of the same thing? It's a variation of the same thing?
In many ways, yeah. It's going bigger, it's going broader, it's incorporating more things.
Yeah.
Adding pieces to the orchestra.
Yeah.
It's not a chamber quartet, it's like a full orchestra now.
I understand the metaphor.
Which...
And there's a limit, but there's a limit to that. There's a limit to how
you cannot
far
go
you
bigger
can.
than this.
No.
I wouldn't...
I don't think it's possible, to be honest.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I would have great reservations in seeing him do the same thing again.
Yeah.
But broader, but bigger.
Yeah.
There's no Mike obeying this.
Uh-huh.
Unless you do like, this was verging on parody, unless you go completely into parody, but I don't see what you would
no.
gain
Yeah,
from
this was exactly. This was almost like the final statement in a way.
Yeah.
Would you recommend the Smashing Machine?
Not really.
Not really, right? Unless you're a
If it's on
completionist.
TV, I wouldn't like necessarily switch the channel.
Man, that's a terrible compliment.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's a perfectly competent film.
Jesus.
Made by somebody who's more than perfectly competent. I feel like everybody involved in this film is more than perfectly
including
competent.
The Rock.
Including The Rock.
Yeah.
So it's too well calculated, as you said. It's too measured.
Yeah.
It's too safe.
Yeah.
And it doesn't linger in your mind. I would definitely wholeheartedly recommend Marty Supreme. It's honestly, this has been a good year for like showstoppers in a way. Films that really kind of glue you to your seat.
Yeah.
We have Marty Supreme. We had One Battle After Another, which for all my grievances with the film, it does grip you and keep you very engaged. And also Sirat, which you really should check out because it has a very similar effect.
Maximalist.
Very maximalist, very, you cannot believe what you're seeing in the audacity of some of the things you see and how well they're executed. So yeah, this is the three films I've seen this year that really kind of glued me to my seat.
Yeah, but then my favorite one is still the subtle Brazilian subdued meditative film about the passage of time. So
oh yeah, nothing wrong with it.
And
it's apples and oranges.
Yeah, and obviously I still haven't seen the Jaffa Panahi one, which I'm sure is going to blow me away.
I haven't seen it too. I really hope so. It's gonna be later on.
Marty Supreme, the way it ended kind of made me want to call my mom and sort of talk about anything other than filmmaking with her, like talk about life. But then realizing that the moment she says anything negative about my career prospects or anything negative about, or the moment she expresses any concern, that I would immediately probably revert into Marty mode and probably think and say something toxic. So yeah, it's definitely touched me, I think. It's definitely affected me in the intended way.
Yeah, I feel it kind of makes you want to try and be a better person.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing for a film to try to instill in its audience.
Well, both Josh and Benny Safdie, from all that I've seen of them, they seem to be really nice people. They seem to be very open people. Even a little new agey, especially Josh. Like he has some kind of spirituality in him. And yeah, I mean, I did rewatch probably a year ago, but I did go back to Uncut Gems and to Good Time just to make sure that those films still hold up, and to me they do. These are really, really skilled filmmakers. In the case of Benny, he seems to be skilled in many different things, and we'll see what happens with his career, but I'm happy that these people exist, and they are definitely a big inspiration for me as a filmmaker, as a person who wants to make art. Because even just the story of how they got Uncut Gems made is inspiring, because basically it was a film that they were prepping for 10 years, basically. They spent 10 years trying to make that film happen.
It is very inspirational.
Yeah.
I find it very inspiring as well, but not because when you say you're inspired by somebody, there's always the shadow of imitation. And one thing I love about the Safdies is, I mean, I wouldn't try to make a Safdie-esque film.
No.
What I appreciate about them is kind of, I can see their influence, but I can see that they're iterating on those influences. They're not just copying Scorsese.
Absolutely.
Not just copying, when you watch a Tarantino film, and if you've seen a lot of like the cinema he references, you can see him trying to encapsulate and copy the feeling of this moment in time when the movie was made.
Yeah.
Especially in Kill Bill. Which is, you need a lot of talent to pull it off, but it still feels like it's not iterating.
Yeah.
It's capturing, but it's not iterating.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
It's not an
adding
imitation.
anything new.
Yeah.
While the Safdies are iterating.
Yeah.
They're adding a layer, they're adding a vibe, they're adding something, a new perspective, even though they're working with the same.
And obviously,
Same
a lot
things.
of this has to do with who your collaborators are.
Oh, absolutely.
And who you surround yourself with. There's certain films that I probably would never make just because I know you. Like I would probably. No, I mean
That's interesting.
I think it's just people around you influence you in ways that you can't really articulate. I think, and we probably adjust what we do and what we say up to a certain point based on our collaborators. I think, which is why you can see how Benny Safdie does something very different when he's working alone, for example. But at the same time, I get the feeling that they don't say no to crazy ideas when they, like, let's say you and I were trying to come up with a sequence of scenes. Something that happens in this film is Marty goes to take a bath, and then the bath breaks and falls through the floor, pinning a character in the floor underneath. It comes out of nowhere. It's an absurd moment. I do wonder if I wouldn't censor myself from an idea like that. Or if I were to tell you this idea, if you wouldn't quite understandably tell me, that's a bit too much, you know?
What's the point of this being here?
And then what you have to say is, well, let's see where it goes, you know, let's make it have a point, you know?
Yeah, it's if you surround yourself with people who are open to this step of exploration, for sure.
Yeah.
And this scene kind of gets you through several emotions. So it's a very good example because it's shocking, it's ridiculous, then it's kind of gruesome and kind of disturbing. Then it gets kind of funny again.
Yeah.
So it's a full plethora of emotions in the span of like 30 seconds, something like that.
And if I had to articulate what I mean when I say they influence me, it's that openness to trying out your craziest impulses.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Uncut Gems opens with a sequence where the camera goes into the gem and then transitions and comes out of the guy's colon. If you remember, there's an extended CGI opening that...
And Marty also has an extended CGI opening.
Yeah, but it's more... I mean, yeah, you know why it's there. Like, immediately, you know why. It
And-
serves a point.
And with the ending, it kind of goes full circle, so it's
Anyway,
very good.
amazing filmmakers. I hope I didn't say anything that would make people think that I have beef with them. Because I did, like the whole thing when I went on a tangent about how they seem to be more tolerant than I am. I don't necessarily mean that as a bad thing. Unless it is ever revealed that they voted for Trump, but I doubt that.
Well, certainly they don't seem to have trouble with associating with Trump supporters.
Yeah, true.
Which, I don't know. Maybe they're just better people than we are. Maybe we...
They are just, no, well, they are the people that they are. You know, they are themselves, you know.
Yeah.
And
And we love them.
I love them, yeah. So definitely strong recommendation on Marty Supreme. And Smashing Machine, I guess watch it if you are a completionist. And that's about it. I don't think I've missed anything. I don't think there's anything I haven't said.
No, I think we went through what we wanted to talk about. We both had a blast. We both... It's funny because we both had a blast. We both really enjoyed the film. But we both feel like this is a good place to stop.
I agree. Absolutely.
And I hope that Josh gets to do something different.
Yep.
Gets to expand, spread his wings, and go out of the established mode he has clearly mastered. Because once you've mastered it,
You gotta try something else.
yeah, you gotta spread your wings. You have nothing else to prove.
Yeah.
Hope it gets a lot of awards. I hope it's very successful. Hope it has staying power, and I hope it leads him to the next big thing, the next step of his career.
And I hope Benny does something interesting next time.
Well, the Princess Bride thing already sounds interesting to me.
Yep.
to be honest.
Just because it's a fantasy kids film already sounds way more interesting than the Smashing Machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, that's it.
Do you think we will ever do a Coen versus Coen? Do you have any desire to watch Runaway Dolls?
I have to, but I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, I guess we now know who's the goofy one. Seems to be Ethan.
Yeah.
We know where Raising Arizona came from mostly. But who
Yeah,
knows?
and we now know who the real Safdie is. It seems to be Josh.
Well, no, I don't
No,
want to
that's
put it like that.
unfair. I'm kidding.
That's
I'm
very
kidding.
unfair.
I'm kidding. Anyway, love them both. And that's all I have.
Yeah?
Until next time, goodbye and good night.
Bye. Cinema Strolls is an independent podcast brought to you by Hot Potato Studio.
Hosted by me, Roman Pessarov.
And me, Angel Radev.
Production, graphic design, and editing by me, Noura Al Kadri. Music by Angel Radev.
You can find us everywhere at Cinema Strolls. Follow us on Instagram and support us on Patreon and Ko-fi.
Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Make sure to rate us, it really helps our show.